we have a, which is 2xy minus I x squared y to the power 3. So if you consider that a is p plus iq, the real part is 2xy and the imaginary part is negative x squared y power 3. Now to find the gradient, you have to write the rule of the gradient, partial x plus I partial y of a. And now you can find the derivative of, or you can find partial x of this part of this bracket, and plus I partial y of this bracket of a, and you can find partial x of 2xy, which is 2y, and partial x of negative I x squared y power 3. And similarly, you can distribute I partial y to this bracket, and finally you can get I as a common factor here, and this is the final answer of the first part, which is gradient A. To find divergence of A, which is nabla dot A, its rule is partial x of P plus partial y of Q. Substitute P and Q. P is the real part and Q is the imaginary part. Partial x of 2xy, which is 2y, minus partial y of x squared y power 3, which is 3x squared y squared. To find the curl of A, write this rule here, which is partial x of Q minus partial y of P, where Q is the imaginary part, which is here. Q is the imaginary part, which is negative x squared y power 3, and the P is the real part, which is 2xy. When you substitute in the rule, you can find that the final answer is negative 2xy power 3 minus 2x. To find the Laplacian operator of A, the rule of Laplacian operator, as you know, is partial 2a partial x squared plus partial 2a partial y squared. If you substitute in this rule, where a is 2xy minus I x squared y power 3, so you can find that after few steps, the final answer is negative 2i y power 3 minus 6i x squared y.